Hello YouTubers, Tross here. I'm playing some Minecraft with the 1.5 update, the Redstone update out, and just playing with some of the neat things. One of the first neat things is this daylight detector or sunlight detector. It's a redstone device that outputs a signal whose strength corresponds to how much daylight there is. You can see the sun's a little past noon, and you can see it's just went down one block. Yeah, it powers the redstone, and as night approaches, the signal strength gets less and less lights will be on. You can see here I have it laid out horizontally. Here is the same thing built vertically. This is exactly 15, which is the longest redstone signal as possible. I built this one a little long. It looks complex, but it's basically the same circuit. We got the light sensor here, 15 going straight back, and off of each one I have a repeater which re-strengthens the signal. And while it may look complex, it's really simple. All it really does is this first line here comes here and spirals around and comes all the way down and powers the lowest block, which is right back there. And so on, each coming off every other side so that the signals don't cross-contaminate each other. And then going all the way back here to this one, which just drops down and comes here and powers the highest block. So it's really, the circuit is simple. It's just getting all the wires. The closest wire has to go to the bottom, and the furthest back wire has to go to the top, so routing everything around each other so they don't interfere. It's a little complex, but it works. See, the sun is starting to go down, so the light is also starting to go down, and when it sets, the final light goes off. You can also use these to make street lamps. Here I have a daylight detector, and it right now is powering that one spot of redstone, which keeps the torches off. And when the sun finally sets, the dot of redstone is no longer powered. Torches come on, which light all these glowstone redstone lights. I have a few other designs. This one comes on just before the sun sets, so you don't have a period of kind of really darkness. Just before it's completely dark. There's less lights, but they come on earlier, and so there's no chance of any mobs spawning. Did some experiments over here, and I'll probably show you these again real quick. This is just basically the same thing, only a one light version. I have a little block of glass over this because glass does diminish light. This is a full block, and then this is 2 full blocks of shadow that this is in. And maybe seeing soon. They do come on earlier, but not as early as you would expect. None of them come on while there's still 2 blocks lit over there. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Let's back up here so you can maybe see this. There's still 3 blocks lit. The sun is going down, officially setting. Yeah, now there's 2 blocks lit. You can see this one's already on because the redstone doesn't reach all that far. Now the sun is completely away. There's still 2 blocks lit. Now it's down to 1. And then these here on the right side should come on in order now in just a few seconds. There's the first one. Full double shadow, single shadow, glass block. Apparently it does not have any effect, even though it's supposed to reduce the light a little bit. So that's light sensors. They're used for all sorts of things. You can lock your house at night. Have it keep the door shut, or obviously lights, all sorts of other things. One of the other new things is a glowstone block. It's 9 glowstone, and it's basically a block equivalent of a torch. But unlike a torch, it also will power redstone directly under it. It will do on top just like a torch, although it does not do on top through a block, which is unlike a torch. If there was a torch here, that redstone on the top of the block would be lit. So it's close to a torch. As a solid block, you can stand on it, no problem. But it does have a few differences that actually are somewhat useful. This next redstone device here is called a comparator, where every redstone device has just been on or off until this point. I should say before 1.5, because obviously the light sensor is also not just on and off, but it outputs a variable signal. The comparator also works with these variable signals. Redstone powered directly by a torch or by a block is at strength 15, and then it drops down 1 for every block. So this is 15, this is 14. This would be 15, 14, 13. The way the comparator works is if the power coming into the back of it, this is the back side with the 2 torches, is greater than the power coming into the side, the power will then go through at the same level it was at. So here we have 13 on the back and 14 on the side, so nothing goes through. If I then grab a torch here and stick a torch here, I can get rid of this one. Now this is 15 and this is 14, so we have greater in the back, so power does go through and it lights both of these. Because again, this would be 15, then this would be 14, 13, 12, and it would continue. It can also be put in another mode, basically subtraction mode. You right click on it and this front torch pops up. And now what happens is instead of just seeing if the back one is bigger and letting it through, it actually subtracts the power in from the power in the back, you subtract the power on the side. So this is 15, this was 14, the difference is 1. You can see this piece of redstone has power, this one does not. However, the light is still lit because the block next to it has power. And if I move this back one, you can see now they're both the same, so the subtraction comes out to 0. No power gets through. Another thing you can do with comparators is check the levels of items in objects, like chests. So you can see there's nothing in this chest, there's no power coming out. If I put some blocks in the chest, you see we have a little power coming out, and the amount of power directly corresponds to the percentage of blocks, or percentage filled the chest is. So if we happen to fill all the chest completely up, which, well, you can see as we now have 4, but if this would not be lit, it's so it's 4/15 full right now. Another interesting item, actually don't need the comparator there. It works similarly to a comparator, though. We have a gold and a iron pressure plate. Basically, as you throw items on, let's pick those up so they actually get on. You can see it gives out some power, and now more power. Basically, the gold pressure plate, every 4 items on it, the power gets stronger. The iron one, it's more like 40, I believe. So with the iron one, you can actually measure several stacks worth of items. The gold one tops out at 1 stack, or less than 1 stack, I believe. Another new item here. Those are all the redstone items, really, the interesting ones. non-redstone item we have is the hopper here. You can let's just get a bunch of blocks and put all the blocks in the top chest, and you can see they're disappearing. They're being sucked into the hopper and then deposited in the bottom chest. Basically, hopper takes any items in anything above it and deposits it below it, or you can actually have the bottom of the hopper hook and curve around, so you can move things sideways. You can actually chain them together as well. The way you actually do that is you have to hold down shift, so you're ducking, and right click when you're placing on the object if the object has an inventory, and that way you won't actually open it, but it'll place the hopper and it'll curve it towards that object. One of the neat applications of this is you can make an automatic cooker or automatic furnace system. You can open this chest and put coal in there, and if you click, you can see it's filling up the furnace. And then the top chest here, you can put your iron or whatever you want, and because these are double chests and there's two, it actually is feeding into both furnaces. And then there's more hoppers here at the bottom, and you'll see it'll deposit when it's done. You'll see that 2 will come up to a 4. There you go, and it'll automatically pull the next pieces in. Basically, hoppers on top of a furnace will feed into the item slot, the top slot. Hoppers on the side of a furnace will feed into the fuel slot, and hoppers on the bottom will take items out of the output slot. So, besides furnaces, you can do similar with brewing stands and a few other things. You can use hoppers with dispensers. Hoppers can go in mine carts. Lots of neat uses for them. Speaking of dispensers, there's a new item called a dropper. Or it's just like a dispenser. This is a dispenser. Here we have a dropper. It doesn't have a circle. It has like a half circle. And the difference is where dispensers will shoot arrows out, a dropper will just drop the arrows out. There's a few other neat things you can do, such as, let's see, I don't have any armor on right now, but I'm putting the armor in the dropper, and I'll stand right next to it, and the dropper will just drop it. A dispenser is now supposed to equip you with it, and this is probably something I should have tried before making the video. Let's turn off the torch. And yep, the dispensers now will put on equipable items. Where droppers, again, just dropped it. You can see I picked it up in my inventory. So you can also now have them face up, both dispensers and droppers. Here's a dropper facing up, and somewhat complex looking scheme of stuff, but basically you can ignore from this row here to the right, just these 2 rows. We got a chest up here feeding into this furnace. This hoppers and droppers. This hopper feeds into this dropper. The dropper faces up into this hopper, which then feeds into the fuel part of this furnace. And I also have another hopper underneath the dropper, which feeds into this chest. And what this is an automatic charcoal making machine. You basically get yourself a bunch of wood. I actually think there is some wood. And you put them in this top chest. And you put a piece of coal in here. And let me remove this coal. And you can see it's cooking the wood. We'll make some charcoal. And right now the whole rest of the system is full. But the charcoal comes down into this hopper, is fed into the dropper. And there's some redstone back here that measures how full everything is. And if it starts getting empty, it basically triggers the dropper to fire the items up. They wind up in the hopper and go in as fuel. So if the furnace runs out of fuel, the dropper will automatically fill it back up. As you can see, the dropper is completely full right now, so I can flip this switch and you can see the chest is filling up. Basically, you can see, well, this hopper down here is emptying into the chest, and basically this will make charcoal in an infinite loop. I added this whole part so you don't have to climb up. Just playing with droppers mostly, and let's get some more wood. You can just put a bunch of wood up here and flip the switch. And now the dropper is feeding into these hoppers, and it basically lifts the wood all the way up there. So this is another neat thing you can do with droppers, is now you can move items vertically with droppers and hoppers. And when all this wood is empty, they'll start making the click sound as the droppers don't have anything to drop out, and so then you can just flip this off and make a lot of coal so you can use your automatic furnace. And that's about all I'm going to show you today. I do have another neat construction back here, but that'll be for another video. And thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this. See you guys next time.